Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt completely lost in your tech career? Maybe you're trying to break into the field and you're feeling like you're drowning in tutorials or wondering which skills actually matter to get your first job. Or maybe you're stuck at your current level watching everyone else get promoted before you. Whether you're just starting out or you're looking to level up, having the right mentor can help you skip months or even years of trial and error and might just be the difference between staying stuck and breaking through to that next level. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how a mentor can help accelerate your career, approaches to finding mentors, and most importantly, how to make sure you're getting the right guidance for your specific goals. I'm pulling on my own experience as both a mentor and a mentee. I transitioned into machine learning from a non-technical background, and I've greatly benefited from mentorship throughout my career. Now I work in applied science at Amazon, and I've been mentoring folks looking to break into data science and machine learning for about 3 years, with a special focus on those from non-traditional backgrounds. Stick around to the end because I'll reveal the #1 mistake most people make when working with mentors that can actually hurt their career growth. So let's start with why you should even bother with all this. Imagine you're trying to navigate a maze. Sure, you could eventually figure it out through trial and error, but what if someone who's already solved it could guide you? That's what a good mentor does for your career. First, there's technical growth. We all know that fields like data science and machine learning are massive. One day you're learning PyTorch, and the next day someone comes and tells you, actually, you need to learn TensorFlow. And then the next day, there's a new framework that changes everything. It feels like there are infinite tools and approaches to learn, not to mention soft skills to develop. A good mentor helps you kind of cut through the noise and focus on what actually matters for your particular goals. Ideally, they're not just giving you a study plan. They'll help you define and improve projects, show you how to use tools that real teams use, and teach you how to present your work so that it makes the most impact it possibly can. Mentors can also be super helpful for navigating your career once you have a job. Say you're in your first machine learning role and you get assigned to a project that seems way over your head. A good mentor can help you break it down, set realistic milestones, and figure out when to ask for help versus when to push through. They can even help you turn that challenging project into a promotion case later. Speaking of jobs, mentors can be really helpful during the job search process. In many cases, they've actually sat on the other side of the interview table. They know why that one bullet point on your resume is raising red flags and why your perfectly logical system design solution would make a more senior person kind of cringe. They can help you turn those vague, developed machine learning models into a compelling story about your impact. And once you get an offer, they're the ones who can tell you, actually, in this market, you should be asking for 15% more. Plus, they can often make introductions that turn into referrals down the line. Finally, there's the emotional aspect to it. Mentors can keep you accountable and help with motivation and handling the emotional ups and downs of what can be a long and challenging process. Having someone in your corner who's actually been through what you're going through can be super helpful. Now, how can you actually find a mentor? There are 2 main paths, both with their pros and cons. But before we get into that, I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, me. I've been on the lookout for nerdy data science and machine learning apparel that actually looks aesthetically pleasing. You know, something that like you or I as people in the field would recognize, but other people might just think is a neat design. If you know, you know. I couldn't really find anything, so I made my own. So far, I have 4 designs. This aesthetic neural network on a hoodie, mug, sticker for your laptop, and some comfy t-shirts, a pretty heat map hoodie, neural network activation functions on a mug or a t-shirt, and my favorite, a few layers of a ResNet deep learning model on a picture of my cat, Arnold. I only have a couple of designs so far, but if you guys like them, I have a ton more ideas. Click the link below to purchase them on YouTube. And now, back to the video. Let's start with the free path. The lowest effort way is just to follow people on LinkedIn or YouTube. And look, if that's all you can do right now, just do that. I still learn tons from content creators, but it's not the same as having someone who's actually in your corner. The real benefit comes from meeting mentors one-on-one. Here's where you can find them. Hackathons, where people are already excited about building stuff and teaching and learning. Tech conferences, especially smaller, more focused ones, and even some virtual events. The key is meeting people when they're already kind of in a sharing mindset. You could also reach out to people directly who you haven't met in person, but this is where things often don't go as well as you would like. People often kind of mess up by sending messages like, "Hi, would you be my mentor?" Unfortunately, that's just not gonna work. You're gonna be ignored 9 times out of 10. Instead, try this. "Hi, so-and-so. I watched your MLOps talk at PyData where you discussed feature store implementation at scale. Your points about handling feature drift really resonated. I'm actually building a similar monitoring system for my NLP project that tracks embedding shifts over time. Would you be open to a 15-minute chat about how you approach testing these monitoring systems in the early stages?" See the difference? In this version, you've shown you actually did your homework, you've watched their talk, you're already working on something related, and you're asking for something specific and time-bounded. Plus, you're targeting their exact expertise. Free mentorship is like any relationship. it has to grow naturally with a give and take from both parties. You need to make a real connection and a compelling case for why you'd benefit from the relationship, as well as what you can help the mentor gain, even if that's just the experience of being a mentor to a highly motivated person, which can be really valuable for the mentor as well. But to be honest, free mentorship has its challenges. Meetings can be irregular, there's less accountability, and it takes time to build these relationships. That's where paid mentorship comes in. Yes, it's an investment, but think about it. What you're paying for is guaranteed access to someone who's been where you want to go, regular structured sessions, no more just like hoping they're gonna have time, direct accountability, because money is typically motivating for both parties, and an immediate start. You don't need to spend months building trust. Platforms like TopMate and Growth Mentor make this super straightforward. You can see mentors' expertise, read reviews, and book time directly. I've personally used both with a lot of success in the past. It's also important to remember that you don't need to limit yourself to just one mentor or type of mentorship, both free and paid. Getting feedback from many sources can help you make better decisions. Some mentors may have different expertise or opinions, and together they can help you make the best choices for your career. All right, let's say you found a potential mentor. Now let's talk about how to make this actually work. I'm gonna start with the biggest mistake I see people make, one that can actually waste both your time and your mentors. Don't wait for a mentor to rescue you. Start building, learning, and growing right now. A mentor is going to accelerate your journey, but not carry you through it. Here's what that looks like in practice. Specifically, never ask questions that you could just Google in 5 minutes. Instead of something simple like, what's the syntax for list comprehension in Python? Ask things like, I'm building an API that needs to handle sensitive user data. How would you approach a problem like this? So in this case, you're not just asking for facts, you're asking for experience and judgment. You're saying, I've done my homework, now help me think like a more senior engineer. That's what mentors are for. Now let's make sure you nail that first meeting. For a quick coffee chat, do a super fast intro, seriously like 2 minutes max. You want to save your time for questions. Have one clear goal, like I want to understand how you handled the jump from data science to machine learning engineering, and have specific questions ready to go. Don't forget to write them down. On the other hand, if you're kickstarting an ongoing relationship, first share your journey and listen to theirs. Be super clear about your goals. For example, in 3 months, I want to be contributing to open source ML projects, and in 6 months, I want to be interviewing. And finally, set expectations on both sides for things like meeting frequency, communication style, and so on. That means you schedule the sessions, you prepare the agenda, you follow up afterwards, and you keep track of time. Another thing that's super important, take criticism like gold. If your mentor tells you your code needs work or your resume isn't hitting the mark, that's exactly what you want to hear. They're saving you from rejection down the line. One last thing, the best mentor isn't always the most senior person or the biggest name in the industry. The right mentor is someone who gets your learning style, like maybe you need hands-on examples and not theory, has recently been where you want to go, so someone who made the jump 2 years ago might be more helpful than a CTO, and makes you feel comfortable being completely honest about your struggles, your fears, and your real goals. Remember, this person is going to see your messy first attempts, your confused questions, and your moments of doubt. Choose someone who makes you feel challenged but supported. Everything I've shared today comes from my experience both receiving great mentorship and mentoring others in data science and machine learning. I've been where many of you are, making that transition from a non-technical background, feeling overwhelmed, and wondering if I could actually make it in this field. Now that I'm on the other side, I spend some of my time helping others make that same journey. If you're feeling unsure about how to transition into data science or machine learning, or how to level up in the field, I might be able to help. You can find more details and book a chat through the link in the description. But whether you work with me or some other mentor, I hope this video helps you make that connection that could change your career. Because trust me, having the right guidance makes all the difference.